Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Code. I'm excited to have a very special guest on the show with me today, Julie Smithson. And I am so happy that we're finally having this conversation because it's been a long time coming. But Julie leads Metavrse, which is a creation platform and game engine for the spatial web. And over the past 10 years, she has led the production of several world first interactive and immersive experiences across training, marketing, retail, and collaboration. Some of these novel innovations include the Mall, which is the world's largest virtual mall, and Metopia, spatial collaboration platform. And what I love most about Julie is that her personal mission is to inspire and educate people to think and act in a socially, economically, and environmentally responsible way. We could use more of that. I can go on and on about Julie's accomplishments and how much she is impacting the world of XR and women in XR, but I will pause there and say, Julie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ashley, and for your, for joining me in even the community of XR Women, which I know we're going to touch on. So thank you for being a part of the XR Women community with me. And it's great to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's awesome that technology can connect us. You're in Canada. I'm in Oklahoma within the United States. We've got a global listenership audience. So I love that we're connecting via technology, which is beautiful. But let's dive in about you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself. I just touched the surface of the iceberg on your bio.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess so. So I guess my journey, we've all kind of taken a dive into this from different aspects, but I guess my pivot point was creating touchscreen technology for the music industry, which we did back in 2010. And so that was kind of my gateway into immersive technology was touchscreens, right? And building something that was a tool that was not natural for DJs back then. So think about a DJ who, has all these knobs and faders and, scratching records and, playing in front of a crowd. And here we introduced a touchscreen device that would control this music, and it was see-through. Right.
Wow.
So the emulator became our, the world's first touchscreen DJ controller for music artists. And we built that technology with both software and hardware. And I helped deploy over 500 of them around the world with my team. To famous DJs around the world, into particular concerts or venues, and sold them, and grew a community out of music, which I think that's a whole separate podcast, right, about music and how it's,
oh my gosh, yes,
it's a part of everything. So that was kind of my gateway into that. And because we had built this touchscreen device that was so futuristic, right? It was mission control, see-through mission control. And back then, 2010, we built this even before the Windows iPad came out. So before everybody had a mobile device in their hands, and we were dealing with touchscreens. So there was a lot that I learned about the touchscreen application itself and how we were interacting with technology that became that gateway. And that's how we got introduced into virtual reality and invited into that community and learning more about that, and then seeing, oh my gosh, like now we're going into this technology, into VR, and it's 360 degrees. And all of a sudden we were in the VR world. So by 2016, we had called our company Metavrse. And we spelt it METAVRSE because we thought, we're going to build the Metaverse. So
I love that. You were ahead of everyone else.
Yeah. And we even say it now. I think we live in about 10 years ahead of everybody, just even today, just knowing what's coming, what's happening, what to help humanity prepare for. And that, is kind of tied to our bigger mission of inspiring and educating the next generation about what's to come. So my involvement in building those touchscreen devices and then doing all these world firsts and really exploring the technology from an immersive perspective, I saw how learning was going to change, how teaching was going to change, how we were going to step into our computers and interact with things that were going to be all around us and things were going to be digital. So that became my passion to continue that, to help people understand, to be able to sit with you and explain how things are going to come together and how businesses should approach things and what we should learn. So I feel very fortunate for where I am and what I know, that I pass on my knowledge to help the next generations.
I love that. And you've worked so hard to get there. And that's what I always want to remind people, that it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's definitely not an overnight success. And one, you are like way ahead of your time. And I love that, because I remember how I met you was through a demonstration of the Metaverse web engine. I think it was during an XR Women meetup, which we'll get into what XR Women is later. But I was blown away because I think in 2021, way ahead of your time. I think we were modifying the Metaverse logo. We could change the color, we could change the shape. And it was such an aha moment that the way that people can access that is through the browser. And that is a much easier, it reduces the barrier to entry, is what I was saying. So thank you for creating that. It was very educational, very informative, very like just enriching. So I'm happy that you saw the foresight, like to create something for a DJ and then enter into this VR world. That is so cool that you got to bridge that gap and see that transition.
Yeah, and then be able to help curate what the engine of the future should be like, as well as a model for education, as well as a model for people to have a creator tool to be able to create these worlds. And that's the bigger concern here, is with AI coming in, what happens to humanity and the jobs that are being taken over? How do we as humans evolve into this technology and build the skill sets that transition us to this new type of digital transformation, whatever you want to call it? You can call it the metaverse. You can call it step by step the metaverse, because it's going to, not everybody's going to jump in and be in the metaverse like we do every Wednesday. That's not quite what's going to happen yet, but we're going to get there. What we've done at XR Women, doing 170 events in a row, showcasing that, people can come together in virtual places from all over the world. Sometimes from 8 different countries at the same time, sometimes 30 people in that same room, all talking about the same things and pulling together community. And so, that's kind of the bigger thing here, is the community piece. And I've learned a lot recently just on how important community and teams, the people you surround yourself with, is so important to your well-being and to those around you, as well as to what your personal mission is. And so, XR Women and coming together as a group each week has proven that model to be able to evolve from there and continue to build on the knowledge that's kind of coming at us pretty quickly, don't you think?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think it's putting a premium on that human touch, though. The one thing that technology can never replicate is that soul experience. And I think we still have that. But amidst the many things that you've accomplished, you're the co-founder of XR Women, which is a group, like you mentioned, 171 that's amazing.
Yeah, so we're 1,000 women globally, plus, I think, plus amazing. Allies. Yeah, and over 60 countries represented.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
What a reach.
And 170 events in a row. We've been going 3.5 years. The leadership team is, we're small but mighty. And
y'all do a lot, and you cover a lot of ground.
And we, it's twice a week that we meet, because Monday nights are planning for Wednesdays, and then we do it all over again the next week. Yeah, we've kind of proven ourselves in that realm, and we're looking forward to, we have some plans coming up. We have our awards coming up at the AWE. Yes, we have the
So
XR Women
excited. I can't
Metaverse.
believe it's
Yes.
next month. Ah.
I know. I'm so excited for our community to get together
Mhm.
and looking forward to that. And then I'm also going to be representing Metavrse as well, my company, which is, you touched briefly on it, but we've built a 3D game engine
Mhm.
for the spatial web with the creator tool. And we're looking forward. We're in the final stages of getting it ready to go big, but we're ready to implement some of the newer technologies like AI and blockchain, where
Mm.
digital ownership will start to make a big representation in our lives, a lot bigger than it is today. Um,
Yes.
I always start off the conversation around that with, we always go to and get 10 coffees and we get that stamp, right, of 10
Mhm.
coffees, and then we get the 11th one free. And that's gamification right there. We're already doing that,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
our world is about to become very gamified in that
Mhm.
sense. We'll bring a lot of education through that. We'll bring a lot
Yes.
of loyalty points.
Mhm.
Um, we'll tie that into brands and consumer purchasing and things like that. But we're also going to see, the impact of AI, and I say impact both good and bad. That we're going to need that technology to start to protect us, to
Mhm.
validate who we are. To know that Julie Smithson is the person in here giving this interview and not a deep
Mhm.
fake AI.
Mhm.
One day you might have to question that. You don't
Yeah.
know, right? And this is where uh, the chain comes in to start to
Mhm.
validate and verify a lot of these transactions that'll start to take place. And that's a big change for community and people. And I'm not sure if have you tried 4.0, chat GPT
Oh,
4.0 yet? Sorry,
yes, I've
4.0.
been using it. It's amazing.
Yeah. But like, how quickly have you used a voice yet? Have you started talking to
No, but I've been following the horrible PR
it?
nightmare
For
of,
Scarlett?
yes, for those listening that have not watched the news, what happens is Sam Altman, the CEO and founder of OpenAI, approached Scarlett Johansson not once but twice. This is directly from her, saying, "Hey, we want to provide a more welcoming voice to associate with AI to help people maybe get a bit more comfortable with it." Also, for context, Scarlett Johansson voiced the AI assistant in the 2013 movie Her. So there's a lot of like overlap there. But anyways, like her family was messaging her, like, "Is this your voice?" They used her voice without her permission, and they're basically saying like, "Oh yeah, sorry." But it really shines a light. There's not a lot of policy and legislation to protect this right now. It's pretty much a do it and then apologize later, which is really alarming.
Yeah, and I think that's a pure example about what we don't want things to be like,
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, Scarlett is in the limelight right now, and I can play her. It's the title, the name is Sky, and you can play it right now. But I guess if they want to change it, they have to push an update, so then they'll roll out more. So like, how do we stop that acceleration of quickly making things changeable but
Mm-hmm.
yet
Yeah.
advanced at the same time? This is exponential growth. And one of the things that my husband Alan and I have, our mission, a while ago, we started an academy, a program that when we saw that the education system was going to need to change, but also how is humanity going to be able to manage this? And we built a program called the Unlimited Awesome Academy. We call it
Great
Unlimited
name.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
is, right? Doesn't everybody want to be awesome?
Of course.
Yeah, but there's several parts of the program itself, and the very first one, besides creative problem solving and economic responsibility, environmental sustainability, but the very very first one is about perseverance. And as humans, we need to take care of ourselves first, to mentally manage the exponential growth that's taking place right now. Being able to, on a daily basis, do yoga, gratitude journal, abundance recognition, deep breathing, goal and purpose setting, life planning. These are all the things that the elements we need to do to remain strong, to manage and cope with stresses. So the coping mechanisms, to be able to deal with the abundant, demands that we are all receiving in a day from multiple sides. So this Unlimited Awesome program starts off with perseverance, and it goes deeper into this. And right now we're seeking out mentors that to be part of this bigger mission, to be able to help humanity go through this stage and be sustainable in their own right and their own passion, with the right skill sets and the right mindset to be successful. And using this technology, to basically build out that program, to add that gamification component into it, to reward and build a learn to earn program for students. This is the translation of success for a new mindset, with new generation, with new technology. And I'm circling myself with people like yourself, Ashley, who feel the same way, who want to change the way things are these days. There's a lot of trials and tribulations and world things going on, and as humans, to deal with all that, we have to be so centrally focused with wellness first and foremost, and then find your tribe, find your people that inspire you. Surround yourself with a 10, somebody who's going to raise you up and lift you up, somebody who's not going to pull you down and make you think twice. And that's, I think, the hardest thing for humans right now, is that we're forced into these relationships by family, and then you go into work, and you're kind of dragged into these places. But it's a time where people have to find their purpose in life and find what they love to do. And then there isn't that, what do I do for work and what do I do for play? Because it's the same thing.
Yes, exactly. Right. One and the same. They blend in. It's more of a harmonization. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Where can people learn more about the Unlimited Awesome Academy and sign up? Is it our website?
Yeah, we're working on it. We're getting ready to pull some things together by the end of this, probably quarter Q3 of this year. So stay tuned, stay in touch with me. You can certainly find me on LinkedIn, and I'm at XR Women almost every week. That's another place too. And my email, Julie at Metavrse.com. That's me.
Awesome. And I'll link all of that in the show notes. That way everyone can find it, as well as the XR Women information. It's open to anyone that wants to join. I love that it's free. I learned something new. There's some incredible people that are presented within XR Women. I always leave with my cup filled. I always leave learning something new. I know, like you spoke about mental health, like Caitlin Krause has an incredible job of like making sure we're present and like really making the intangible tangible when it comes to those mental health aspects. And Trisha Blake did a really good session, I think, a couple of years ago. I took notes on that and screenshots because it was really necessary. I think it was during holiday season where everyone gets kind of burned out. Between that or like an immersive art gallery of a woman that decided to get back into art and blend physical and digital through her experience going through breast cancer treatment. Like, whoa, it's so cool to hear those stories from people around the world that are using technology in really innovative ways. And it's just like, it's so exciting. What a time to be alive.
It really is. And it's that was the whole purpose for us to build this platform with XR Women, was to keep up with the technology. Right. And, one of the other things that I'm part curating now is the Daily Tech News Show with Julie Smithson.
Yay, that's awesome.
Yeah, so behind the scenes, we're putting together, what does everybody need to keep in touch with? And on a daily, weekdays, every weekday on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube at 10 a.m. Eastern, Alan Smithson, look him up. He
Mm-hmm.
goes over top 10 things that happened the day before in AI and tech news, or maybe it's a commercial for that Tesla's just rolled out, or an iPad commercial that came out that was taken down the
Oh
next
yeah.
day. So,
Right.
those things kind of happen. But Alan's kind of staying on top of this exponential growth of news to keep us in tune.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm learning right now, because how else do you keep up with how many things are changing on multiple different industries and things like that? So it's all about self-learning, really, right? And that's
Yes.
what journey we're all on.
Absolutely. Plus 1,000 to that. And props to you all for having the endurance to do that, because that's how actually this podcast started in 2020, of like giving daily
Too.
updates of like, here's what you missed. And oh my gosh, it takes a lot of time to produce that. But it's important. And people are looking for those types of outlets that make it approachable and easy to understand. And you're right, there's so much. I think I have subscriptions to like over 15 newsletters that are like AI or XR focused, because I want to stay up to speed. I want to know what's happening, because if you don't know, knowledge is power, you're going to get left behind. And that's really where we are at this precipice of you either know it and you get it, or you don't.
That's right. Yeah. It's hate to say cutthroat at this point, but it really is that type of game right now that you've got to be in there, and nobody's going to learn for you anymore, or at all, really. Nobody's ever going to learn for you. So it's definitely a different time and space.
Yeah.
From when I grew up and I was in school, or when I've got my first job,
Mm,
all of those experiences are so different now. So, we just have to stick together. Collaboration is key. You can't do
yes.
anything on your own.
Mhm.
I think it's a very lonely place if you do things on your own. And
Totally.
that's one reason why I love XR Women so much, is that we've created this such a natural community,
Mhm.
both of women and allies, of helping each other and learning from each other. And my work also continues in celebrating the Pollies every year.
Yeah.
The Polly Awards of the developers of the immersive web. So we've, celebrating that community, and exploring the other side of that is metatraversal, where we explore
Yeah.
the journey between worlds, and how does that happen if I want to bring a pair of sunglasses that I bought in this world, and I want to bring it to the next world.
Mhm.
I don't think I can do that, right? But this is where people will want to start to see that interoperability, and how do we start to manage that with governance and best
Mm,
practices. And so being immersed in the spaces that we're in right now of learning of those first journeys is really key to learning. And then the key there is just share it and share your knowledge, so that others can make sure they either don't make the same mistakes, where they evolve from what we've done.
right? It's a beautiful journey of learning.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I would love to ask you a question of the business case for what you're doing, because you have shared a couple of use case examples with me that I think are fabulous because they tangibly make sense. And some people still have a disconnect of the ability to see like conversions and customer behavior through a type of immersive environment. So can you talk
Mhm.
about that, and so that people have a better understanding of what that might look like, whether it's a project or something that you were really happy that went well.
Yeah, sure. I'll try and do like a power moment on each of them, and I'll give you three. The first is
Hey.
train. Yep, the first is training. So immersive training. Imagine taking a model and putting that as part of the LMS system, and having people being trained on a massive machine that there's only one of or a couple of in the world, and reducing that training time from weeks down to less than weeks, right? The amount of money that you save on travel or training or time, the retention is a lot quicker. And we saw that take place with Siemens Healthineers, our client. The second one would be retail. We built the Juicyverse, which was the Starburst project.
Yes, love that one.
Yeah, and we
So
did a
cool.
first in the world of building out an IRL moment to a URL, which then went to an IRL product sale. And the user was in Walmart, scanned a QR code. It opened up a Juicyverse pass on their wallet, which was either Apple or Google Wallet. And the user then went into the Juicyverse, which is an immersive experience accessed on their mobile device. They had to play a game that was a 3D scavenger hunt. They had to find all 8 items. Once they found 8 items, there was a coupon that was dropped into that Juicyverse pass that they then went back to the store IRL and claimed their free Starburst package from that Juicyverse pass. So it was a pure marketing strategy to see how you could use that coupon with a gamified approach. And also the key in the background there was blockchain. It was a tokenized transaction, right? It was a digital token that they received in that world that then was transferred into the user's wallet and then was taken out. So that would be sample 2. My third one is collaboration. And we've worked with one of our clients, Wipro, to create their sales center. And their sales center is an immersive space with avatars. You access it on desktop or mobile device, and you're invited by their sales reps to come in and introduce their services, they have full video, audio chat, and the presentations are interactive. So it's this new way of collaborating with clients or your partners, but also being able to add assets or products in 3D into the space so that people can explore them together and interact with them. So those would be 3 just right off the top business use cases that there's an ROI, or what I call the ROX, which is the return on experience.
Ooh, love that. And you should totally trademark IRL to URL. That's brilliant. I love that. It makes sense. Like, I'm so glad you shared that with the audience, all 3 examples to showcase the depth and breadth of this type of technology, but specifically the Juicyverse one is so good. It's so practical, and it just makes sense. And you're able to track those conversions and track did someone actually do this. So bravo to you for executing that. It's brilliant, and I think it could be a gold use case to apply it to other industries like hospitality or like food and restaurant. It's endless. So yeah, thank you for providing those tangible examples.
You're welcome. Yeah, there's I think you start to think about this technology in different industries, and there's a use case everywhere. If you start to think about websites, everybody has a website. So we're going now 2D into 3D. So the 3D is this new Web3 component that will step into our computers, and we'll start to transact and have AI virtual assistants that'll help us, and all of these transactions that'll start to take place from, as I mentioned, product purchases or loyalty, but we'll start to see real hard use cases like food traceability, for example, or voting, or
great use case. Yes.
wills and testaments. All of these things will start to be tokenized, and that's the chain working in the back end to validate the ledgers. And we all want to see transparency, that's what the key of all of this will be. And, pulling all of these technologies together is how we will bring that immersive space in with the AI, and then have the chain validate everything for us. But yeah, it's an interesting time. And where we'll be by 2030 is only like 5.5 years away. There's a lot of
Whoa.
really crazy, there's only you know, there's some pretty crazy predictions. One that I learned the other day, that by 2030, ChatGPT 4.0 will be 1 billion times smarter.
Whoa.
And that,
Whoa. Ah.
and that to me is pretty impactful. And we need to do a lot in these next couple of years together to make sure that we're all safe, that
Yeah.
we learn together, we stick together.
Mhm.
And I'm certainly happy to be part of the community that you're in. I think we've done a pretty good job of bringing some of the best people together. So thanks to you for continuing sharing your journey with everybody
Oh,
here too.
thank you so much, Julie. It's just, I can't tell you how beautiful and special and wonderful it is to have that space, to, connect with others who are like-minded and understand the value of not only community, inviting others and uplifting what other people are doing, but really providing a different aspect into this new world of technology that I think some people have overlooked quite easily. And if the pandemic, showed us one thing, is that we can use technology to feel a little bit more connected. And research supports this as well. I love the ability to just like put on my headset on a Wednesday and be virtually transported to an environment where I'm like networking and seeing other people and being able to see their gestures. And I don't even have to wear any makeup. It's amazing. Like, I would love to attend all my meetings this way. To be honest, it would be great. But thank you for persevering, because I know like last year was the metaverse hype cycle and people are like, oh, the metaverse is dead. It's not. Or before that, and AI has
Mhm.
having its moment. And I really think we're going to start seeing AI within hardware even more so than we're already seeing. And I think, especially in the VR XR space, we'll see more of it. But I'm excited to see you at AWE, which
Me
is
too.
happening next month. This will definitely go live before that.
Amazing.
Yes, yes. But Julie, are you working on anything right now that you're super excited about?
Uh yeah, unlimited awesome is
Okay.
kind of the big mission.
Yeah.
But it's a big package, and I would love to talk to anybody who's interested in joining the mission, and making that impact, that global impact, and really recognizing what humanity needs, and giving all the power to humans to be able to have a long and life sustaining journey ahead of us. So yeah.
Yes. And you embody that too. You don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. I remember, like, you do many things, but just for example, I think 2 years ago you brought little maple candies from Canada for everyone. And it was like, that is so thoughtful to bring something from
Thanks.
your country. That's just so simple and wonderful. I just loved that. And so thank you. And I feel like food is like the universal, like, friendship thing.
It really is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah. So thank you for being
Yeah,
present.
no, thank you. And you're welcome.
Uh,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
yeah, AWE isn't far away, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing all of our community there too. It'll be a great reunion.
It really will be. I'm really excited about the XR Hall of Fame. There's some incredible people being recognized there who are industry pioneers. I will link the AWE XR Hall of Fame. Also, if you're looking for a ticket, I will also link in there. You got a special code for Coffee and Code listeners for 20% off your ticket, so I will link that. But AWE is Augmented World Expo. It is the largest conference that happens every year in California. And this year they are celebrating 15 years, and it will be in Long Beach for the first time. So it's going to be, I think, over 6,000 people. Going to be a lot. It is the place you want to be if you love emerging tech and you love seeing things that change. Last year, I was playing with a Boston Dynamics robot. That was really cool. I got to see those Real classes, really good use cases. I mean, it's like coming home. It's like seeing your best friends again. So I'm really, really stoked about that, and especially to see the XR women community come together again.
Yeah, amazing. It's always great to see, what's new and what's different, and the technology is moving so fast. So it'll be fascinating to see, how many headsets do we have this year,
Right.
right? And just what everybody's working on, and the size of this one. It's going to be exciting because it's definitely going to be double what we've had before. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make sure I'm hydrated and well rested,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
where can people find you who are listening and want to follow along on your journey or sign up for updates? Where would you like them to go?
Yeah, so I'm pretty, I guess, the most active on LinkedIn. I try to
Okay.
be the most there, and share my journey as much as I can. I should probably do a better job at that one, but that's for next year. Eventually it'll be juliesmithson.com. That's coming soon.
Love that.
But yeah, yeah, LinkedIn's probably best, or reach out and connect with me, and then my email is julie@metavrse.com, and it's
Perfect.
VRSE.
BRSE. I will link
Yep.
that in the show notes. That way people
Yeah,
don't get
yeah.
confused. But I'm curious, Julie, what is one piece of advice you'd like to leave the audience? Maybe it's something that you wish you told yourself when you were younger, or someone that is like looking to get into this industry but doesn't know where to start. What advice would you leave us with?
Yeah, sure. I guess when I was starting, entrepreneurship wasn't even a thing. So I was kind of, start of entrepreneurship back in the day. And today I wouldn't think anything that would be different than you are going to be an entrepreneur in your life, and to build a life that you love, build a life that you can find your skill sets with. Ask somebody else what you're good at, because I didn't find my good until I asked somebody else. And
Wow.
I think that was a really big moment for me. And Yeah, I think just doing what you love, and then creating an ecosystem around yourself that you can make money and support yourself, and offer your skill sets for trade,
Listening.
and be ready for that, and be ready to manage your life, and produce your life. You're the producer of your own life, and make it a good show. Maybe I'll stop there.
Oh, what a great quote. Yes. That is a mic drop moment. You're the producer of your own show. So true. It's a
Mhm.
reminder that we do have decision-making control over how our lives can go based on what we can have
Yeah.
control over. So that's a beautiful way to wrap up this wonderful conversation. But thank you so much for sharing more about your journey and more about the companies that you've been involved with, the technology that you've used and shared with the world, and the community that you've helped cultivate within XR Women. It is a joy and an honor to be able to finally have had you on the
Yeah.
show. But thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you at AWE.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Ashley, for having me.
Thank you.